Prison Stories 101, man. We are back with the return once again of Vice Gizzle, man. You got a lot of fan favorites out there, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What's happening? What's happening, bro?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? For those that don't know, man, again, tell them who you are, where you from originally.
Well, I'm gonna throw it out there again for those who deaf, dumb, and blind. I'm a latex nigga. You hear me? Louisiana, Texas, all day, all night, 24/7.
Come on. Now, for those, of course, we've done a couple of these prison stories, and it seems again as we did the first one, then as the second one, that a lot of people say that what you might say or what you might experience, they didn't see none of that in the amount of time they might have did. They might have did 5, 10, 20, and they're saying the things that you saw, they ain't see nothing like that. Can you please address
Well,
those?
first of all, and I understand what you're saying because ever since I've been on this show, I can't go nowhere. I mean, nowhere. I walk in Walmart and stuff. Hey, don't I know you? And I'd be like, and they'd be like, oh, you was on such and such, prison stories, this, and that. And I'd be like, yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So they'd be like, oh, well, I did some time and did this and that. My time was nothing like that. Ooh. Okay, where you did your time at? Oh, I was on Larry Gist, or I was on Gurney Unit, or I was on such and such. Stop it. You ain't done no time. You ain't done no time. Those places are not even considered prisons. That's the halfway point in between getting where you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Once you hit them units, it's a different thing. Now, if you did 5 or 10 years on Beto one or something like that, yeah, that's different. But in the feds, it's a whole different lane. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some of y'all who don't realize that if you in the low, you in the camp, you on the medium, step down program, wherever the fuck you on and shit. It ain't gonna be nothing like a USP or a Supermax. It ain't gonna be like going to Florence, where you gotta sleep with a knife. You know what I'm saying? Walk with security. You know what I'm saying? While you walk around trying to do your time. Y'all ain't gotta go through that. Y'all ain't gotta go through that. Rats, pedophiles, and all this, y'all get down here to these mediums and these lows and all this stuff, or get to where you're not even fenced in, and you can see your people coming down the road for visitation and shit. Come on, man, you ain't locked up. Be real.
For those who don't know what, and again, this is for the people who don't know nothing about prison. The difference between a low, a medium, a max, super max. Can you explain that?
Okay, so let me explain it. There's this orange book, you heard me? A federal book. When you get sentenced, you're going by points. You're going by felonies and you're going by misdemeanors. So depending on how many felonies you got, how many points you get, it's going to determine whether you go straight to a supermax or a low or a camp. It's going to determine all that. Because see, I ain't even know when I first got my time and stuff. I'm thinking like, okay, prison is prison. But in the halfway point in Sherman, waiting on the feds to come pick me up, I learned different. They're like, how many points you got? Where you going? They say I'm going to Pollock or Pollock or some shit. And they're like, oh, damn, bro, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, what the fuck is you sorry for? Prison is prison. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm going to a medium. I'm going to a camp. I'm like, what you mean you going to a camp? Y'all going camping and shit in prison? What the fuck is you saying? And they're like, nah, bro, camp is like basically next to being free. I did wrong. You got doctors, lawyers, you got all these people and stuff who don't want no drama, no trouble. They free if they wanted to walk off the prison, they can do it and get back and nobody wouldn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you back for count time and you mess up count time.
That's camp.
Yeah. So medium, you know what I'm saying, is below going to a USP, which is the United States Penitentiary. A medium, you got all kind of what you call this incentives and all this type of stuff. They're not getting in all that trouble. They're not going to war unless they have to. They're not doing all that because people got visits they want. They want to see their people. They want to sell their drugs, get drugs in. fuck, do whatever the hell they want to do, you know. But it's like, hey, we ain't on this. Do the rap. He ain't supposed to be here. Here on the medium, they ain't on none of that. Checking paperwork and all that kind of stuff. We don't care they don't care what you did. We trying to get the hell up out of here or make our time as easy as possible. You hit that USP where I was at, or any Supermax or anything up, Florence and all that. Oh, ASAP. ASAP. You're going to get that paperwork check, partner. And depending on your race, it might be even worse than that. Because let's be serious. They don't talk about the Hispanics and the way they do their people. They fucking vicious, bro. They vicious. They gonna stand there when their bus come, and them niggas in laundry tell them, hey, such and such coming, it's 3 dudes coming from such and such. Number such. They already know your business. When you get to that damn staircase and shit, and they tell you going up there to A, such this and that, you ain't going there. You going wherever the fuck they tell you at. Because the inmates run the motherfucking unit. We got our own cells. You go to child house, you got your own section, our own tables and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you get up in there, the Hispanics, first thing gonna do, get naked. You gonna get naked at that door. Butt ass motherfucking naked. Reason being because they want to see your tattoos. They want to know what gang you come from, who you with, who you was with. So if you hiding anything on your skin, that's gonna be your sin, partner. And they gonna do you right there. You ain't coming in there. We finna lock this bitch down ASAP. Ain't no conversation about it.
Man, you had mentioned that as far as the Hispanics, everyone kind of goes to their own situation once they get in. Where does one go when their situation is small like that? The Irish, the China man, maybe the Congo man or something. Like, where do they just attach to whoever they feel like is the deepest, or do they have like their own little small Chinatown or something?
They have their own communities. We all do. No matter how small the clique is and shit, we got our own communities and shit. If you come from New York, they gonna say your people over there. You go run with them New York niggas. But if you happen to be from New York and you really from Barbados and all that type of shit, and you want to run with the Jamaicans and all that shit, you got that option. But you got to go to them niggas first. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna say your people over there. You know what I'm saying? Or you fucking with us. Now, if you on gang time, you got gang ties to something and shit, then that becomes a whole nother deeper subject. You know what I'm saying? You fucking with us, you fucking with them, but you going with the Crips and the Bloods, the GDs and all of them, because they got one car. So it's up to you at the end of the day, you make it lighter on yourself. But before they fuck with you, they want to know that you're reliable, that you're going to be a soldier. Because if not, you're a liability. So we need that paperwork. We want to know what you in here for. If we don't know it, we're going to know if you... And then don't get me wrong. You got some motherfuckers that come from different prisons, going prison to prison, getting shipped because they can't keep their mouth closed. They always in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Acting like hoes or whatever, this and that, stealing, doing all kind of stuff. So that's what we call compound hot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you were straight in your paperwork, but once you got on got on the tier and shit, you wasn't straight no more because you start running your mouth. You got in people's business. You started wars. You did all this shit. So you compound hot.
Question. So there's, all the stereotypes of prison. When they say you don't need to go into prison sagging, what is that stereotype? I mean, is that something new?
Nah, it ain't nothing new. I mean, basically, you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I was told a long time ago, years ago, when I first started doing time, you know what I'm saying? When I was going to Gurney and all these, you know what I'm saying, little spots like this, waiting to go to fucking Beto or go on, not Ferguson, I wasn't on no damn Ferguson. East Ham. When I went to East Ham and all this, you hear all these stories and shit before you get there and shit. You sitting in cell with a motherfucker been locked up 17 years already, he gonna give you the spiel. You know what I'm saying? Nigga be like, yeah, I wouldn't be doing that if I were you. Put your pants up, partner. You know what I'm saying? You got them booty bandits and shit. You know what I'm saying? The boys gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? It's been since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, they said I had another gentleman in here who said he was doing time back in the '80s, and sagging pants was a term of like you was a gangster. You weren't working with none. It was respected in prison as such. And then slowly over time, this the '80s.
Yeah,
So slowly over time, it became something
it
to where
changed.
yes, it's like a
It's
signal, I guess.
changed because if you actually go back to the original meaning of sagging, it was not called sagging. It was called breaking. Breaking came from the slave ship when they started bringing our people over here and shit. They were trying to break their ass. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that walked around with their pants sagging and all that had already been broken. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as us as black people, we known to take constructive criticism and we known to take disrespect and turn it into something else. So that's how that flips into, oh, sagging, I'm a gangster, I'm this, and that. But over time, niggas like, man, that ain't what's up. Cause nigga, I don't see the crack of your ass every time I look around. Lil Woo Woo probably want to see it and shit, cause you know what I'm saying, he trying to hit him a lick before he go to sleep tonight.
Would someone give a new inmate a heads up, like, hey, bro, like immediately, because everybody has a first day in prison. Does someone immediately tell them, hey, bro, I won't be sagging like that, or does someone have to find out the hard way normally?
Now you gonna get plugged in. You know what I'm saying? Before you even get to prison, bro, you gonna be on that prison bus. You gonna be like even in the county jail. You got niggas coming back and forth, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Getting more time or whatever the situation, or they're going back in and shit. And they gonna be like, hey, you don't wanna do that. You know what I'm saying? You going into prison and shit, you how much time you finna get? You know what I'm saying? Your cellie might be the one that lays you up. Now, whether he giving you the real, or giving you some fake game and shit, don't know. You know what I'm saying? But different niggas give different shit to their cellies and shit before they move on. That's why you have some niggas that go down straight down there. Oh, I'm gonna knock the biggest nigga out, and this now I'm gonna
Yeah,
show that I'm not a
I
hoe.
always hear, again, you always have the stereotypes where they say the day one you get in there, you're supposed to go after the biggest nigga and go knock him out. Therefore, then you have your respect for the rest of your time there. Is that like a myth, or is
Once upon a time, it was like that. You talking about early 60s, 70s, and 80s and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When niggas was doing time for real and shit. As that shit shifted and shit, ain't nobody on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on, man. Stop it. Especially if you go to the feds and shit, you finna walk in the door and start a damn riot. You gonna hit the biggest nigga for what? You don't even know who that man is. You know what I'm saying?
no, but does it still garner the respect of other inmates once you do out of nowhere just knock a nigga out? Like, ah, damn, that nigga dropped him. Does it
But like I
if you
say,
win your
once
first
upon a
fight?
time, you would have earned that respect for doing that and shit. They was like, I don't know why the nigga crashed out like that, but fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I respect homie. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no hoe. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays and shit, you can't do that shit, bro. Because for one, you just got us locked down. So you just made new enemies and shit. Although you ain't knocked out the biggest nigga or tried to, you know what I'm saying? Knives gonna come out everywhere. They about to butcher your ass and shit. And you just got a whole lot of innocent people into your beef that had nothing to do with nothing. Because if they find out you from Dallas, you heard me, and you just pulled that stunt, niggas finna have your back and we finna go to war on this bitch, but at the same time, they gonna bake you a cake when it's over with because you just came in here and did the stupidest shit ever. Now, when you in the state, that's different. You wanna walk up in there and knock out the biggest nigga to show you got hands or you ain't scared, go for it. But still, you ain't even gotta do that in there no more.
In what ways do you have to like to show that you tough? Because I've heard, I've
But
had
no, when you in the state, you gonna don't get me wrong.
yeah, they say they have
You
like
gonna have
gladiator
to, you
school where
gonna have
like
to go to gladiator school. You gonna have to hit that dance floor soon as you get in there versus going to the feds. You're not doing it. You're not touching no dance floor. And that's the only thing I didn't like about the feds, because a lot of these fuck niggas and shit get protected by the car and shit, because once you go up in there, you get up under that umbrella. So ain't nobody finna fade you unless you did something to get faded fuck.
The feds sound like a more, not saying lenient, but
They used to call it club feds and shit, but the feds done went to shit, bro. I don't give a fuck what they tell you. Fuck club fed. It's easier time, but it enables fuck niggas and shit to keep being them. Because you protected. Versus you being in the state. Oh, he did what? Oh, that's your beat. Go on out there. Handle your business. We ain't gonna let nobody jump you, but you're gonna have to take that fade.
so with state, it goes back to my question. Then you have to wait till somebody approach you to fight. Like you got to wait till somebody tell you to fight. You can't just kick it off the moment you walk in. Like,
Depending on where you at. If you in the state, that's different. Handle your business. If you can run back and say, hey, I'm finna dust this nigga up and shit. He piss me off. Ooh, watch my back. Then you can do that. You know what I'm saying? If you got that time. But sometimes you ain't got time for nothing. You know what I'm saying? A situation happens, you got to handle your business right then and there. Questions gonna get asked later if we make it out this motherfucker. But if it get too dirty, the homies is here to help you. So we all gonna go to war in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But you just better we just better not find out the shit that you initiated this bullshit.
come on.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We always try to give people the warning signs. I know a lot of people, just a lot of young men, a lot of people are afraid for people getting violated in prison. So we try to give them a little game. What are top 3 ways inmates who are, let's say, them bandits out there, will try to turn somebody out brand new? Like, what are the top 3 ways that someone need to look out for?
First of all, a big hungry ass nigga staring at your ass all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Explain all the time. I mean, like, because you don't get to see though. Every time you get to go out and
But you got niggas that's straightforward with their bullshit, and then you got some niggas that's slick with it, and you always gonna have somebody that's gonna warn you. Hey man, Blackjack and them and shit be on that. You know what I mean? Niggas gonna try to run up and stuff. No, don't fuck with the niggas. Nigga got a store and shit. Don't go buy no snack cakes and shit. Or if you do, just get your shit and go. The nigga probably tell you it's on me.
That's one way they'll provide.
A nigga, SSI might be pushing the room, push a bunch of zoozos and wham-whams in your room. You know you doing bad, nigga be like, don't worry about it, man. I got you, man. Oh man, appreciate it, man. Ain't got nobody looking out for me and shit. Ooh, I'm not granny putting money on my books. Don't worry about it, got you. And the nigga might not say nothing to you after 2-3 months. But when that favor is called, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ain't no saying no. No.
So if he didn't say, like you just said, someone offer you they offer you some type of favor, can you just reject it, or should nah, I don't want that?
Yeah,
because it seems like if you don't say nothing and you accept, that means like you accepted it. Like when you say, thank you was an exception, but even not saying nothing, not kicking it back.
You need to know why you're offering me that assistance. You need to know why and what I owe you back for that. Because most people don't ask, I appreciate it. Do I owe you anything? They go like, you good, brother, go ahead. And the whole time you ain't paying attention to body language. Niggas talking about, you good? Hey, all right, man, go on out there, be all you can be. Slap you on your ass and shit. You like, come on, man. You know what it is.
Even if that happens, to me, if you're not taking off on somebody right there, if you allow some activity like that, that just lets somebody know, like, oh man, this.
It's the same. If you grin, you in. If you grin, you in. And nigga looking for that. Nigga gonna test you in all kinds of little small ways. If you grin, you in. If you take hold of one of them little favors, you might not have no money on the phone and shit, and you need to call home. Bad the motherfucker, so you get some money up in here. Nigga be like, I let you. I got a burn up in here, you heard me? I got one. Go on, use that thing. How much this call gonna cost me? Nothing. Yeah, I might need you one day, but I don't need you. I don't need you trip, man. I ain't see you in here like that. and you take that phone call,
if you just said like
you in debt.
If that man grins after the end of that, you're like, nah, you good. If that man grins and smiles, like thank you, like he happy, like that's like, oh yeah.
Cause see, it's a way that them pedophiles and them fuck niggas look at you, bro. You gonna know that something ain't right. It's the difference in me walking up in January and saying, damn, bro, you fucked up like that. I'm gonna let you use this phone, bro. But when your money hit, bro, I need my shit back. Or I need my minutes back on your phone or whatever the fuck going on or whatever. Niggas gonna be straightforward with you. This shit gonna cost you 2 for 1. Cause we trying to live and make money up in this bitch. Ain't nothing for free. So that's the first motherfucking thing. A nigga offer you something for free, talking about he trying to help you. Help me in what way? Then you notice every time you go to a shower and shit, he posted up in his chair and shit in front of the shower and shit, looking at the shower, looking at you. Open the damn door. Take you a shower. Come on, man. You know what that is? He just trying to wind you down and shit and see if you gonna scream or you gonna holler.
One way or the other, it's just
one way or the other and shit.
It's coming.
I'm on your line. And if them niggas get on your line, they ain't gonna stop till they either get what they want or you punish one of them fuck niggas and let them know. I ain't on that type of time. Don't come at me like that. If I owe you something, nigga, I'm gonna pay you. But I ain't paying you in ass.
Do the CEOs be in on it as far as can an inmate pay a CEO to be like, hey, I need some quiet time with this inmate over here?
Most times the CEOs gonna be in the picture, bro. Minding their own business. They're gonna be looking and stuff, but you gotta understand this too, depending on what shift it is and who the officer on deck is. They might be a gang member themselves because they need protection too. The inmates run the prisons, bro.
Right, that's what I be worried about. Like,
police don't run shit. They come in and clock in and do all that dick shit, but they know what time it is and they sleeping and shit. Hey man, I need protection, man. Some Crips and Bloods and shit trying to get at me and shit. I'm pissed one of them all shaking their cell now. I took some work from them. I took a bag of wine and shit. Man, what y'all gonna do for me? First of all, you gonna get such and such tatted on you and shit to let them know you with us.
Branded.
You bring yourself with us, you belong to us. So when we say bring this in, bring that in, give us some heads up on this, that, and the third and shit, we gonna need that from you. And we don't need no lip. Or that's gonna expire real quick. You know what I'm saying? And other inmates gonna find out, oh yeah, Officer Lopez and shit riding with, you know what I'm saying, with TS or the North Annuals or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So they already know when they come through there, all right, well, I ain't fucking with you like that. You know what I'm saying? They go up in there, flip and turn over a cell and shit, and did this and that. You know, 9 times out of 10, they go and put their work in there.
So it goes back to the original question: if an inmate with some OG status been there for, let's say, years, decades, and a weak CEO, or let's say a CEO needed some money, has there been situations where a CEO would accept a bribery to allow to allow whatever the inmate wants to happen?
Man, let me tell you like this: everybody need money. You hear me? And I don't give a fuck what they tell you about what they pay as a CO and shit coming in the prison. That money is never enough. It's never enough. So when they meet niggas like me, you know what I'm saying? They got a bag already and shit, and I need something done. Oh, I got them. All I got to do is talk them down. Once I talk them down and shit, and say, look, take this little piece of paper, read it when you feel like it, and splash it. They go, it'll be a phone number and shit. Call this number and shit and talk to my people. And they gonna write you a check for whatever you need.
So money never moves in jail. It doesn't exist in there. It has to
like
from the outside.
Tangible cash?
Changeable cash.
Fuck no. Now, it's been some instances where niggas got caught with some shit in their mattress and shit. They've been getting in this shit, moving like that and shit, but very seldom when you see that shit. We don't operate out that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But normally it's somebody on the outside that would reach out to.
Yeah, my people reach out to you and shit, you know what I'm saying? Or you can reach out to them, I give you a number and shit. Y'all had that conversation and shit. What ain't said is understood. Bring me what I asked for. Or get something sent in for me and shit and make sure I get it.
I want to get your take on Larry Hoover as far as he was going to get his sentence commuted. I want you give me your thoughts on that, but also give me your take on that as far as in prisons.
Shouts out to the big homie Larry Hoover.
Yeah. When it comes to
it's about time.
Yeah, when it comes to gang hierarchy, like what are the levels of like? Because Larry Hoover seems like he's up there.
He's been up there.
Yeah, exactly.
For decades.
So what are the hierarchies? And is it by time or is it by what you put in on the streets or in prison?
A little some of both, depending on what gang you're in. But they're not considered a gang. They're considered an organization. It's different. You know what I'm saying? You got hired killer hands and shit in every situation you're going to be in. You know what I'm saying? But that's what people look at them as, but that's not it.
We're going to call them bodyguards and soldiers. Yeah, it could be. It's funny how like someone could look at like, oh, this person, the government has a bodyguard who could, they could kill on sight. While a gang leader might just have, it's considered the same thing.
But let's be real. The biggest gang in the world is the police department.
Come on.
The government.
Come on.
They ain't no different than us. They just go to the people themselves to make themselves legalize in their actions. They ain't no different than us. We just do what we got to do when it comes to it, and we ain't asking no damn body. We ain't asking for permission. But them GDs, BDs, and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Them some of the smartest people ever, because they make them learn shit. They ain't just out there killing. You know what I'm saying? They organize. They move with precision versus Crips Bloods and this and that, just strapping on a gun and bandana and shit. And don't get me wrong and shit, once upon a time and shit, there was literature for Bloods and Crips too. It still exists, but nobody goes by it anymore. They just do what they want to do. Everything is just.
So in the penitentiary system, when you get on a yard or unit, do you know if there's a head gang member there? Like they tell you, hey, what's name run this whole little?
Yeah, they gonna tell you. You gonna know who he is before you get there.
Do you have to? Not saying check in, but if you're part of a gang, you gotta go look at that.
Check in. Yeah, you can call it what it is. You gonna check in because they gonna check your temperature just as soon as you get in there. And like I said, you got 30 days. Tops to go get their paperwork and let them know that you ain't no rat or you ain't no pedophile or you ain't did nothing fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
So it goes back to and again, shout out to boy Larry Hoover, free Larry Hoover. Were you ever serving time with any high profile individuals that could be named that you remember?
Depending on how high you want to go with that.
Because
you have, like, I'm going to tell you like this. For as Crips and Bloods, that started in California. So them as a whole, when they come into the system and they get shipped around to all these different states and all this stuff, doing fair time and all this stuff, they don't really rock with the other Crips and Bloods and stuff from different states and all that stuff. They don't honor that. Because they feel like if you ain't from the land, you ain't from us. Although you got people that run away or get ran off and branch out and do their own thing and then start stuff everywhere else. And that's how all this mess got started. They don't, most of them, they don't.
That makes sense. That makes hella sense. We always ask somebody as far as the worst fight in prison. Do you remember the worst one you had, even if you won or lost, but just the worst one you had to get through?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. My worst fight in prison turned out, we ended up being partners after that. We fought like 2-3 times. And the only scar in my face come from him. We was fighting up in the cell and shit, and I hit my head at the corner of the bunk, on top of the bunk and stuff. And like, there was blood everywhere. They stopped it, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, yeah, I got you.
Do normally after any fight, like because you're housed with these people, y'all like have to like make up? Because again, normally when the fight happens,
No, you don't have to do anything. It's advisable that you make up with each other to keep further damage from going on because, like I try to tell people, once you come into the system, it's no longer about you, bro. You're responsible for what everybody else does. And it's crazy to say that, but it's the truth. Because if this dude over here is stealing out of somebody's locker and stuff, it still has something to do with you. Why? Because when they come back and find out that he did that, oh, they're going to war. And that they happen to be one of your dudes out of your car, then you getting in it too. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, you got everything to do with it. That's why they say check your people and keep them in line. Because if not, we all going to war.
oh, come on.
And then it still has something to do with you if you don't have nothing to do with the situation or the people that was involved in it. Because you know why? When they lock it down, they're not just saying, all right, if you from Georgia and you just got in this fight and this and that, locked down. If you from the North Angles and stuff, locked down, they ain't doing all that shit. Everybody getting locked down. So until they get it situated, we on lockdown for the next 30 days. And if something happens between that 30 days, it's gonna extend over. Now it's 60, now it's 90. So you losing visitation, you losing sexual favors, you losing drugs and this and that, unless they shooting it on the kite and can get it to you. Now you're gonna owe your mama your life and everything by the time we come up. Phone calls and all that kind of stuff. Everybody ain't got a burner. You know what I'm saying? They need to get you that landline on that wall. So this how everything that happens becomes your problem too. So this is why old heads and stuff, they got common sense, because comedy is so common.
That is facts.
They push up on you and be like, hey, look out, younger. I'm gonna holler at you. Or they feel like they can't talk to you, they're gonna go to your people. Whoever speak for you in your car, they're gonna say, look, your boy about to crash out, man. This is gonna cost us. Sit your boy down, man. Tell him chill out. Or if they tired of him, they're gonna say, run him up. If y'all don't run him up, we're gonna run all y'all up. What you wanna do?
That's right.
I was walking down the sidewalk one day going to the library, right? Minding my business. Had no idea that two of my homies, young niggas, went into this Mexican sale and stole a whole sheet of K2. Now somebody sitting out there drinking coffee, watching the Young and the Restless or whatever they're doing, they seen them do it. They seen them come out the cell. You ain't had no, even if he didn't do it, you ain't had no business in that man's cell. You know what I'm saying? So when the man came back, looked for his stuff, they did what? Came out, man, somebody stole my stuff. Ooh. Dude told him, hey, I seen them two dudes, you know what I'm saying, right there. Do it. Yeah. So they knifed up and went to them and say, man, where my stuff? They got the dancing in the day room. Everybody went, Chew. So now my people got involved. They up and they knifed up, you know what I'm saying, fighting and all this kind of stuff. I'm walking down the sidewalk. I don't even know what's going on. Next thing you know, the deuces go off. Boom! Boom! They run. So I'm on the ground, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Waiting up to see what was going on. I seen my people handcuffed coming out of that bitch. I said, damn, I already know what it is. They sit up there, put me in the cell. As soon as I got back to my cell, he was like, you already know what it is. They bitch ass motherfucker. Ooh. I said, what happened? Man, John then went up and old boy shit and stole a sheet of K2. I'm like, what the I said, man. He said, see, you already know we're gonna have to dance to the death of it. That same night, they took us out for showers, bro. Now, you have a lot of doors that can be popped by a piece of cardboard. Fold it up, And you can come out. But when they take you, them CEOs come get you to take you for that little 3-minute ass shower, cold ass shower, you coming out in your boxers and that's it. You gonna put your hands to the bean chute. They gonna put them handcuffs on your ass and shit. And they gonna come up in there, pull you out, put your towel in your boxes, your change of boxes on your stuff, and they gonna walk you down there to that shower. You gotta make it from your cell to that shower unharmed. And a lot of times, if it's beef, you ain't gonna make it. Cause somebody gonna put the word out and shit, and as soon as your ass coming out, it's one of the niggas right there. They come out, boom, boom, boom. If he got to get at the CEO, he gonna get at the CEO, the CO too. But he ain't worrying about that. His objective is to get me. Because if he don't handle me, whoever called that shot gonna handle his ass and shit.
Do any shots get called from the outside? Somebody like, hey, somebody got to do something for somebody on the outside saying, hey, what's name coming up there?
Yeah. Yeah, all the time. Like, I mean, it's like this. We got burners, we got everything, tablets, all that kind of shit. So we keep in touch with the streets. So if something comes about and say, yeah, oh, old boy down there with y'all? Yeah, man, he been down here a couple of months or whatever, this, that. Hey, bitch ass nigga told on T. Ronnie, man. I need y'all to go and put that work in, pack that nigga in for me. It's gonna happen. Everybody gonna go to the fence, they're gonna talk about it, and they're gonna bake that nigga a cake. Especially if he on our team. If he's in our car, he'll never see it coming.
When it comes to if an inmate gets violated, let's say he got, one of the bandits got him, is there coming back from that? Like, let's say it happened one time and then is there like, it's like, hey, that shit happened 8 years ago when I first got here, bro. Nigga, does that word travel with him or can he come back from that again?
So you telling me a nigga got his ass took 8 years ago and now he running something?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that was it happened. That was his past. Can he overcome that is the question.
Man, ain't no dick in the boot ass nigga finna get past that.
So
people, the fuck I look like listening to you when you let a nigga fuck you in your ass? Are you?
if he says, man, that was a decade ago.
I don't give a damn if it was this morning. You can't tell me shit if you couldn't hold your mud and shit. You let a nigga run up in you.
Ain't no
and you got the nerve to sit up there and be trying to tell me what to fucking do. It's bad enough, nigga. I ain't even listening to my own mom and shit, and I gotta come up in here and listen to your ass. Man, let me find out the shit you took a L and shit like that.
That's crazy. So technically, and someone else on this show said this, is that and I think you mentioned it yourself, that there's no real secrets when it comes to prison. Like, what there ain't no like. It's like all over. You can't do nothing down here.
Eventually, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
You can run around and plot and do all this shit. That's just like one of the homies, right? He was messing with this punk, but nobody really knew it at first. You know what I'm saying? They would pass kites to each other and shit, and they would meet in the library and all that stuff. But it's prison, homie. You can't go nowhere where we ain't at. You can't. And then even if you do some shit on the slick that we don't know about, like go to the infirmary and shit, catch a bed in that bitch because you know he in there, and y'all do what y'all do some kind of way. If you got a CO that's gonna make it happen for y'all, somebody gonna tell on you. It's gonna get back to the homies and shit, and then we gonna investigate that shit. And then when they find out, I feel sorry for you, yeah. Nigga gonna punish you in the worst way.
That's real. Diddy right now is, of course, going through his trial, and I'm looking at the discovery and evidence, the text messages they have, and you've been through your fair share of trials and, having to sit down. When it comes to getting, and this is for the young folks out here taking penitentiary chances. What information do be surprising you when they say, "Hey, we got this on you"? Like, how deep do they go when they say, like, "Hey, this is what we got you on this"?
If it's the feds, they done dug so deep, you ain't a crumb up under the rug. Before they come at you, they gonna have you all the way to the right. Ain't no ducking them people, bro. Ain't no ducking them people. You hear me? They watching, they talking, they listening. They'll let you get away for shit for damn near 10 years and shit. But when they get that judge breaking enough shit stacked on you where they can put you away for a long time, here they come. Here they come. Ain't no getting out of it unless you rat your way out of it. Cause then the feds print the money. They don't need no money. You can't pay. Nigga, I'll be hearing niggas talking about, yeah, I paid my way out. You a fucking lie, nigga. You ain't paid your way out of shit. You talked your way out. The feds print the money. They don't need no money. They won't ask.
The feds have been beaten before. Do you think sometimes the Fed get a little overzealous or make a quick arrest when they could have?
Yeah, it happens. They ain't perfect. But the only reason why people say, man, the Fed's so smart, man, they did this and that. Them people is not smart. If motherfuckers stop running their mouth and giving them things, they wouldn't know nothing. They wouldn't know nothing, man. We are the reason why they are so smart, why they have such a high conviction rate. Because it's easy for you to point a pistol and pop it off and shit, but it's hard for you to keep your mouth closed. Take your lick. Just like you point that damn gun and shit, you get the burning fingers.
What normally they'll use against you to make you try to tell, like
anything they know you involved in that you hold dear to you, your children, your baby mama, you know what I'm saying? Anything, you know what I'm saying? If they just know you're a weak individual and you won't be able to go down there and do no time, they're gonna put it on you. They're gonna threaten you with it. When I was in the county jail, these people came out with folder after folder, picture after picture, showing, just spreading all this shit out. We want him. Do you know him? I don't know him. Yeah, you know him. Why you in these pictures? Man, I be hanging out rapping at clubs. I mean, shit. I take pictures with a lot of people. What do you mean? Yeah, whatever. We got deeper connections than that. We got audio. We got this. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? And they like, make it light on yourself. If you don't want to give us this individual right here, take your pick. All these people right here. Give us somebody. Everybody on this table eventually got to go. Because they've been plotting on them for years.
Whoa. Now, go ahead, please.
It was certain BMF individuals and stuff they kept trying to get me to speak on.
Yeah, they did.
And I told them, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. But then what's so fucked up about it, down the line, they spoke up on me. And it's fucked up that the game is like that. You can hold a gun, but you can't hold your mug.
That's real. That's real. So it goes to the question, because again, the game is like that. And then once one of y'all go up, if you go up, would you say the time that you did, everything that you learned and everything that you experienced in prison, let me say experienced and learned, the books you read, would you say doing time helped you, or would you say it hurt you, made you a worse individual or better individual?
Crazy as it may sound, bro, it helped me. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we all got choices, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you can go in there and come out a smarter criminal, or you can come out and be a smarter individual and stay away from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Either or, it's your choice. Because when you get into the system, There's all walks of life in there, bro. Mexicans, uh, blacks, Hispanics, Chinese, this and that. All kind of educated people up in there. Former doctors and shit like that. It's all kind of people. Motherfuckers who hackers, professional hackers and shit that have hacked into the Pentagon. You know, you don't know who your celly gonna be, or who one of your teammates in your car gonna be. So you get to learn shit from everybody. But it's what you do with that knowledge and shit that's gonna make you smarter or dumber.
Now, it's once again, words live by. As we do these prison stories, I always try to, of course, make sure we leave people with some type of game as far as what they need to either watch out from, why they don't need to be there. Just these kids out here taking these penitentiary chances. You know, again, I want you to talk to them.
I mean, go get a job, homie. Go get a job. The streets ain't the streets no more. You know, no matter how you decorate it, you know what I'm saying, a spade is a spade. In order to remain in the drug game, you gotta be a rat. You gotta infiltrate with rats. You know what I'm saying? It's a given. The jealousy, the hatred, the you know what I'm saying? Most motherfuckers look for $1 million and shit. I'm trying to make me a meal ticket, and don't realize over a period of time you already had it. You done spent money on lawyers back and forth. You done spent money on commissary. You done fucked it off in these strip clubs with these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Tricking. You know what I'm saying? Buying houses and grills and diamonds and shit. We all guilty of it. We all guilty of it, homie. But when you gonna wise up and realize that everybody that's before you that you claim to idolize, you supposed to look at their flaws and not go that way. You supposed to be like, damn, everything that glitter ain't gold. You know what I'm saying? The brother went through this, the brother went through that, he went through this, he went through that, she went through this. She lost her life, he lost his life, he lost his kids. So at the end, when you sitting up there, oh shit, excuse me. While you sitting up there flashing, you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I can tell you here first, it's not. It's not. When they say it's lonely at the top, boy, it's beyond lonely. Because it's like walking on water and stuff and ain't number sharks in the water.
I hear that.
Go get a job. Go to school. Back in slavery days and stuff, I was reading where they used to cut our hands off if they caught you reading a book.
Yeah.
White folks despised you learning who you was, learning how to read. They despised you for that. They whooped the skin off your ass if they caught you.
Come on.
Now, you don't have an excuse. White folks are pushing these books in your face, pushing all this knowledge and education in your face. They're giving it to you, scholarships, giving it to you for free. And you don't want it. You don't want it.
Can you speak on real quick, because some of these young people do look at, or they used to look at prison as a badge of honor. If you did time, that was a badge of honor.
No, they call it their street resume now.
Street resume,
and that shit dumb as fuck. Yeah. Because any two ways about it, why would you make that part of your resume that you in the streets and you done caught 5 gun cases, 3 drug cases, you done slap your baby mom, you got domestic violence and shit. That ain't cool. That don't make you gangster.
Does it work in a sense that anybody who has done time, like for yourself, was it hard for you to get a job afterwards? Was it hard for you to, when they have to write, are you a felon or anything of that nature?
Man, it's still hard. It's still hard. I'm doing things and shit that I don't even want to do. I'm doing things that I don't even want to do. And that's straight up. I got all these skills and shit. And while I was in prison, I got all these certificates for going to school, learning this, that, and the other, and picking all these trades. And guess what? I come out here, don't now one of these people honor that shit.
Mm.
They laugh at it. They be like, oh, Windham, I'm sorry. Or they lie to you and tell you, you're overqualified for this position. How can I be overqualified for some shit I ain't never done?
Come on.
I went to Applebee's and stuff and went through 3 different interviews and stuff and was finna get the job. And the manager come on my last interview and she stepped in and she said, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to give you this job. She said, and you're such a bright young man, so energetic. You have what it takes. I say, so what's the problem? She said, well, your background came back and I said, but y'all say y'all hire felons. She said, yeah, certain types of felons. Nobody told me that. So if you've done anything uh, domestically, violence, if you got any type of violence on your record, they're not fucking with you. Because they're scared that if I give you this position and things don't go your way, you're going to slap the shit out of one of my damn people. Or you're going to come to work with a gun and hold us all hostage. Versus the thief that's going to clean out your register, have his partner pull up in the back with the truck and shit and load up all your damn shit. You know what I'm saying? You ready to hire him than hire me.
That's real. That's real. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you got to pick your battles, homie. You got to pick them.
There you go.
Because at the end, you gotta ask yourself, if I do this and it don't go right, where do I go from here? Nobody asks that. The 17 pages that they took out of the book of gangsterism and shit, nobody talks about those pages. They just live them.
All right, speaking of the books, if you don't mind, I want you to, of course, let them know as far as, you got a couple of books out there, let them know the names of them, where they can find them, because we definitely want them to pick up on the story.
Yeah, you can go on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. I got a book called Cut Boy, The Streets Made Me, Volume 1. Then I have 3 children's books out right now. One is called Super Snaps, Volume 1, Shooting Star, that's what it's called. Then the next one is called Jaheim and the Magical Train of Thought, which is the beginning of anti-bullying. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I grew up being bullied, and I turned around, I had to use guns, sticks, pipes, and my hands and shit as a way of defending myself. But these days, I'm trying to keep kids from doing that. Find a different way, you know what I'm saying, to channel your anger and, get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Do you know the name of the third children's book?
The third children's book is Woo Woo the Kitten. Woo Woo the Kitten. And Woo Woo has a lot to offer. I started writing educational books while I was in there because, I was one of those kids that had ADHD, so they claim. They couldn't figure out why I was so fucked up and energetic and shit, so they just throw it on you. Oh, you got ADHD. I ain't no damn ADHD. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going through some shit.
If you write a book in prison and it gets published, who gets those proceeds? Does it get put to your books?
Depending on who you going through to as a publisher. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, the first book that I wrote while I was in prison, I ain't get a dime for it because I was around somebody who had a homeboy. He was from Tennessee, and his partner owned a magazine company. So he's like, man, you were right, man. I get y'all two together. Y'all gonna make some money, man. Just don't forget about me. And I was like, shit, put me on. So next thing I know, we on the wall, we on the phone. He's like, yeah, this the homie, ooh, this and that. What he got to do? He trying to drop a book. He got a bunch of shit written. And I turn around and shit, we get to talking. And he was like, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. He's like, I don't even know you like that. He said, I'm gonna help you like this. Send me 1,700, you know what I'm saying? And I'll do everything for you, you know what I'm saying? And publish the book for you and put it in your name, do the copyrights and everything. Can't lie, he did that. But what he didn't tell me was, what's your bank account information so I can make sure you get your damn money? So he turned around and everybody just CEOs, warning everybody. I'm walking around putting somebody, did you write this book? I'm like, damn, yeah, I wrote that book. Where you get it from? Oh, I got this off Barnes and Nobles. Oh, I got this. How much you pay? Oh, I paid $27.50. Oh, on this side I paid so. I'm like, oh shit. When they be breaded up. I get on the phone to call him. He's like, yeah, unfortunately, the book is not selling. This, and that. I'm like, this nigga playing me. But there was nothing I could do about it. I'm behind these walls. But I said I was gonna kill him when I get out. But by the time I got out, I guess he was one step ahead of me. He moved, so I don't know where he at. So I had to charge it to the game. So it was just like take him to court, all this here. But I come out, I ain't got that much money to be fighting nobody in court. I'm trying to get myself together. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I can do, I got legal advice from my partner's lawyer, and he was just like, rewrite the book and just put a different cover on it and get a new USB ISBN number on it. And there's nothing that can be said then because the copyright is in your name, the book is in your name, but he's eating off of that barcode. So I'm like, how much did he sell? He's like, we're not at liberty to say. We don't know.
Yeah. With that being said, man, getting these stories are epic. Again, the kind of time you did, the crowd loves you, the people love you. So, as there's more we get, I definitely even want to in the future speak on other people's situations. And not saying you're not part of it, but you've been inside before. So things that happen, we may get some fans that say, man, let's compare this and compare that. I still want to get your take on it because, again, you have ample knowledge and, again, you're very well spoken. So with that being said, Ice Gizzle.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it, man. Prison Stories
Anytime,
101,
man.
man. Once again, I appreciate you.